As I live and breathe.
As you live and as you breathe.
Breathe. I have to talk to you about this, Nick.
Oh my God.
There is something monumental has changed in my life, and let me paint you a picture, Nick. As you know, South Park came out this past week. However, I went with a friend of the channel, Mr. Charlie, to pick up his South Park copy Monday night at his GameStop. And I'm walking around because I'm waiting for my Holy Shit Collector's Edition, which is the tits. And I'm walking around and I see this Nintendo Switch over there, and I see Mario's on the title screen. And I go, I wonder, they don't have a demo, but what do they have, Nick? A demo of Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
And I was like, I must play this game right now.
Uh-huh.
And I played it.
Okay.
For 1 minute.
For 1 minute.
And then I was taken away from it.
Why?
Because we had to go.
Why didn't you play it for... I mean, it's Mario Odyssey. Like,
yes. Because, Nick, I'm going to let you something, and you're going to roll your eyes, and fans, you might roll your eyes right now at me, but this is going to be my game of the year.
You're out of your mind.
Nick, I have played 1 minute of this game. It feels...
Pete, in saying that you played 1 minute, you already broke and started laughing at yourself. You can't judge a game for 1 minute of gameplay.
The gameplay feels fantastic. I'm running through the Mexican village, and...
It's already offensive.
And there was pop in here. Then somebody's like, Bowser steps here. Then you went here. Then I did the little 2D section. Then I get out. Then I become Bill Bob. I'm throwing the hat. I was like, this feels great. I can't wait to play this thing. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I'm so excited. It was fantastic. I cannot wait for this game. I blow things up in this channel a lot, Nick. I blow it up a lot. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? The Witcher is a great game. Yeah. And you're like, meh. And I was like, maybe I overhyped it. Maybe I did, but not this game.
You're clearly overhyping Mario Odyssey. You're clearly overhyping
for 1 minute,
Mario
and I was
Odyssey.
Sold.
Clearly, you need to go back and play more than 1 minute of Mario Odyssey.
I would never leave, Nick. You only get 5 minutes on it, and then it automatically restarts.
You should play 5 minutes of Mario Odyssey.
Nick, and then I will just... this game, like, it just felt right, and I was like, I blow things out of proportion, Nick.
Yeah,
but
clearly,
this game, I played it. I was like, let me see if I'm blowing smoke up. I've been very high on the Odyssey train. I've been very high on the Odyssey train. I mean, girly one, fucking always calling me out for that shit. Christina is calling me out, saying, Pete, what are you excited about this fall season? Besides Mario Odyssey, there is nothing now besides Fall Odyssey. The only
besides Fall Odyssey.
I'm so excited.
Calm the fuck down, Pete.
and then I'm thinking to myself, it's like, fuck, it comes out this Friday. You're watching it. It's 3 days away. And then I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I still have to play South Park. I haven't even played South Park.
Don't break everything here. You're out of your mind.
I told you I was gonna play. Nick, let me tell you how great I have to play South Park. And South Park looks great. I saw my buddy be playing it. And I'm like, this looks like a fun 20-hour experience that's going to be great, fun, exhilarating. I was like, but God forbid I have to play it before Odyssey because I know that Odyssey's going to take over.
You're not going to play it in the next 3 days.
What?
Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, I will. If I start tomorrow, which we're recording on Sunday, surprise, I think I could do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and be done by Friday. Because I have Wednesday off, and I feel like I could play it all day Wednesday and be perfectly fine. I can easily go through that game, I think, in good time. I'm knock on wood.
You're not gonna know any of the secrets. You're not gonna experience any of the replay value of it. I mean, there's a lot to South Park. If South Park: The Stick of Truth taught me anything, you got to play it at least 3 or 4 times to get everything, to appreciate the whole thing.
You know what, Nick?
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm a South Park fan, so.
Furthering back on my point. So I played, like I said, a minute of Odyssey. And like I said, I've been blowing up the hype. I'm a little bit calm now, but it's going to rev up in a couple of seconds. So don't you worry, Nick. And just playing, I was like, damn.
I'm not worried now. I'll be worried later.
Is going to be great. So then, Nick, I've been playing other games. This is a whole game palooza today. I've been playing WWE 2K18.
Oh, wow.
So I know people are like, blah. And I haven't played a wrestling game since 2015. And it's all right. I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to platinum this game because I am a platinum whore and I'm in a competition with Mr. J. Rush and I will beat his ass. So, Nick, last but not least, and I'm going to stress this one the most. I was thinking, I could start South Park last night. You know, I could start South Park. Or, you know what? The second episode of Life is Strange Before the Storm Drop. And let me tell you something, Nick. It is fantastic.
No, it's not.
It is fantastic.
No, it's not.
The story is amazing. I can't wait to see what happens. The twists and turns. I am loving right now the season of gaming we're in. Because God knows this game is just fantastic. Because just
You have the same excitement for Life is Strange as you do Mario Odyssey, which tells me one of them is a lie.
Hey, which one do you think it is?
Both.
But no, like I really have to give it up to Deck 9 Games because they took this franchise and it's like we're gonna tell a story that was hinted at in the first Life is Strange from Donut, and we're gonna tell our own story and bear with us. And this story, and I know you're walking push buttons, you blah blah. This story is just so engrossing, where it's just fantastic to see whatever. I know you're not going to play this game, and I'm not going to spoil anything, even though I really want to talk to somebody about it. Like, really.
It's not. It's who cares?
But there's something that happens in the first episode, which is very cool, and then you're like, oh, I can't wait to see how this plays out. And then in episode 2 at the end, because you have a big moment, very big moment right before the ending, where I'm like, damn, if they ended it here, it would have been fantastic. But no, Nick. No. Tech 9 is like, no, we're going to fucking shove that shit up and make you fucking want it even more. So you're at...
Where are they shoving that shit up?
Anywhere there's a hole. You got your earlobe, your nose hole, your butthole. Some people have holes in their armpits, Nick. Did you know that? That's a lie, Nick. Nobody has holes in their armpits. But... you come to this last scene, and then they just drop this bomb, and you're just like, fuck. Now, if you played the first Life is Strange, you know what's going to happen to these characters, Nick. They're not surviving. A dramatic thing is going to happen in episode 3. But the way that Deck 9 has taken this franchise and just built on it and made me care for these characters. Now, the big controversy here, Nick, is that Chloe is not voiced by the same actress. But the acting and the story is so good that I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm in love with these characters where I'm very concerned about what happens. And I mean, it must be a peak game because at one point in episode 2, it doesn't spoil much, but you have to put on a play. And you have to go on stage and ad-lib some lines, and then you fuck up the lines, Nick, but that's not what the main scene is. The main scene is them talking about running away. Spoilers, that is a spoiler. But it's talking about them, like, getting out of Arcadia Bay, and it's just how they do it because it's The Tempest. I don't know if you know what The Tempest is.
I don't really care.
It's Shakespeare. Thank you, Nick.
Whatever.
And,
wow.
And it's just how they...
Wow.
Thank you, Nick. And it's just fantastic how, like...
Before the Tempest.
Thank you, Nick. They're very original.
Fucking shit. This is phenomenal storytelling, ladies and gentlemen.
But no, like they talk.
It's a Shakespeare play called The Tempest and a game called Before the Storm.
Yes, but they don't. Like you're not listening to me. But it starts.
So is this during the Tempest?
Yeah, it's in the play. But what happens? Fuck you. Nick. What happens is the lines are lost, but you have this moment where Rachel and Chloe are going off script, but it's so powerful because they're talking in Shakespeare language about what they're going to do. And she's like, look, I will leave with you. And she goes, how can I trust you? And it's just this deep, like, conversation. And you're just like, this is fascinating. Like, I know, Nick. I harp on a lot of shit. I really go crazy. I'm all in. And you go, whoa, step back. But I'm saying to you, Nick, what a life to be a gamer right now. You have 1 minute of Odyssey and it's your game of the year.
You're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, playing Life is Strange episode 2. I cannot wait for episode 3. Let me tell you something, Nick.
Let me tell you something, Pete.
If episode 3 comes out before 2017, Mario Odyssey...
2017's already here.
The final game before the final episode comes before December 31st, 2017. By God, this might have a shot at Game of the Year because it's so good.
I mean, each episode technically is a game.
Yeah, I see that. But
so I mean,
I
that's
would give merits on episode 2 alone. Like, episode 1 was good. It set the pace. You got to introduce these characters. But I feel like episode 2 just took it up to the extreme decade. So good. And then I went back to WWE 2K18.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pete's an idiot. I'm going to tell you why. Life is Strange. It's a cinematic. It's an interactive cinematic. You're out of your fucking mind. I don't care how good the story is. Either let me watch a movie or let me play a game. Don't mix the two at all, ever.
I really think you should play this game.
I really think I should not. I really think I
fucking
should not.
awesome.
I really
And
think
then-
there's no point.
And then I forget that I have the bonus episode Nick coming.
What bonus episode? Of Batman?
Well, when you get the deluxe edition of Life is Strange Before the Storm, you get a whole bunch of caveats, Nick. You get the mixtape audio because the music is fucking perfect in this game. It's so great. I bought the original soundtrack of Life is Strange #1.
How many times are you going to smack your face into the mic, Pete?
So excited about this. Should.
I think people are going to hear your beard scratching up against the microphone more than they'll
I'm
hear
sweating.
yourself.
I am sweating out of my.
Yeah, because you're out of your mind. You're insane. Insane people sweat heavily.
So.
They want you to know how they got these scars.
So you have the first episode. You get the deluxe edition, and it comes with a bonus episode called Farewell. So I think what's going to happen is...
So there's going to be a whole episode that other people don't get unless they get the deluxe edition? So there's a whole part of the story that people won't get unless it's in the DLC. There's a whole part that's of story locked behind DLC.
Well, there was
the number one problem that people have with Destiny is that there's a story that's locked behind DLC. But this is an amazing game. But ladies and gentlemen, allow that to temper.
Well, let me explain something.
Temper the idea behind this.
A couple weeks ago...
this is a narrative-driven game where an entire chunk of story is locked behind DLC.
Let me explain. Let
me explain. This is a narrative-driven game. Narrative. Primarily narrative. All right? No shooting. No
Actually,
superpowers.
in the first game.
In the first, the Life is Strange?
Yeah.
Before the storm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have
not in the Tempest,
game.
right? Not in the Tempest. This is a narrative game where a fourth of the story is locked behind a DLC wall.
Well, it's actually an interesting fact because on that, a couple months ago, we did cover a story where the PlayStation trophies, you couldn't get the platinum unless you got the digital deluxe edition. I think you remember this.
Yeah, I remember
where they
that.
put Farewell as the and nobody could get the platinum. Didn't matter to me because I was going to get the deluxe edition. No, what I think Farewell is going to be is 10, 15 minutes of just
an epilogue.
It's like, hey,
you're welcome for that word. By the way, you weren't going to say it.
I was.
No, you weren't.
I think the third episode's going to end, of a somber thing, and then Farewell is basically going to be a little bit extra and bring you right into Life is Strange 1. And I see it being 15, 20 minutes long. I don't see it being very much longer than that. But Nick,
I doubt it.
I know you do. You really think it's going to be a full-fledged
I think it's going to be a full-fledged thing.
I don't.
If it's a full-fledged thing, Pete, Life is Strange is no longer allowed to be talked about on this channel.
That might be tough. Wait, the original or before the storm?
All of them.
All of them? Even if the ones that have not been announced?
Before the storm is not allowed to be talked about. Anything done by Deck 9 is not allowed to be talked about in terms of Life is Strange. Because it's terrible. Morally speaking, and from my own personal character, I just don't get why there's a narrative where there's DLC that continues the story. It's narrative. That's all it is. That's all Life is Strange ever is. That's all it ever will be, is just narrative. And then you just swipe left, swipe right, interact with this, interact with that. As versus Devil May Cry is action. There's narrative there, but there's action. There's something that's entertaining you. Same thing with Destiny, Halo, all these other games. The games that I enjoy, Zelda. There is narrative, but there's action that keeps you entertained. So DLC for those can be action-based. They don't have to be narrative-based, but they could also be narrative-based. And you can expand on that because they're not driven primarily by narrative. When your game is driven primarily by narrative, there's no reason to ever hide a narrative behind a DLC.
You know what's strange, Nick? That nobody is playing this game. So thank you for watching this episode. My God, quick play Before the Storm. Go get Odyssey. I can't wait to give you my full impressions next week on the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, subscribe, comment, share with your love about Life is Strange with me too. I would appreciate you so much. And as always,
game on.